G'day, welcome to the show. Soul Covers here. See that big wide grin on my face? Looking at all that green on my screen. Love to see that. We close out June as another winning month. So finish June up 6.25 units. Love to see that. We Today we're going to be previewing the Commissioners Cup WNBA final between the Fever and the Lynx. Make sure you tune in. I've got one bet locked in as of right now that I really like. Make sure you tune in to see where my numbers are projected for that game, if there are some any actionable spots, if there are any spots that I'm looking at. And yeah, we close out June, plus 6.25 units. Looking back, we had the dream money line. They closed as 1.5 point favorites. Love to see that. We had the under in that game. That did not cash. And one thing I'm going to be looking for going forward is I better be seeing some real value on a Liberty under without Jonquel Jones. Their defense has just been awful since she's been injured, so that did not cash. We had the Sparks -6. That spread closed at -8.5, and they lose outright. So love to see that. We had the Aces +8. We bought them at the rock bottom price, and they end up covering and winning outright. And that was just a wild swing. Like the Aces in their previous game, they were playing the Mystics. They were in the second game of a back-to-back. They were 8.5 point favorites. They lose that outright, and the market opinion completely crumbles on them. They go from 8 point favorites, second night of a back-to-back, to 8 point underdogs against a Mercury team that they've been playing really well, but they were definitely overpriced in that spot. We also had the under on that game. We double dipped on that one. That was a line that I think that closed at around 167.5. So didn't get much closing line value on that, but my numbers really liked it. I had that total projected at 163.5. So that was a nice little value play on our part. What did that total finish? And it finished at 165. We also loved the under between the Valkyries and the Storm. That game went well and truly under. I had that total projected at 153.5. So let's have a little look at our results as well in the WNBA. So we are 47-39, only +2 units, which I definitely want to be better. I want that ROI to get around 5%. It would be at 5% if we just weren't getting crushed on some of these amazing some of these bets where we're just getting amazing value and they're still not cashing. But hey, we're still closing ahead of the market at 70%. And if you just want to remove those flat bets, it would be around 75, 80%. But we're going to include those flat bets as being a negative. But yeah, we're definitely going to be having a winning season if we continue to close ahead of the market at this rate. Looking at our monthly results. So we started recording YouTube in mid-February. We started off so poorly. -20 units. Some people may just quit after that, but we backed that up with my best month of betting all time. And since then, April wasn't a good month. We were traveling during half of April, so wasn't able to put as much time into watching the odds screen, capping these games. But last 2 months have been really solid. We're definitely not going to have another 50-unit month. In the NBA, I was betting 3, 4-unit, 5-unit plays. I've actually resized my bankroll a bit, so basically my 1 unit is close to 3 units what I was originally betting before. So definitely not going to have another 50-unit winning month, but as long as we continue to grind out these +6-unit, +7-unit months, we're going to have a great year in the WNBA. So let's have a look at the Commissioners Cup Final between the Minnesota Lynx and the Indiana Fever. We saw this game open at 4.5. Now it is at 7. I'm holding a Lynx -5. Got that down for 1 unit. So this game has been priced for a very long time, and we saw that Caitlin Clark, she has missed the last few games with this quad injury, and they didn't move the line. This game was priced initially as if she was going to play. You could have gotten, like, just by the fact of, hey, Caitlin Clark's out, there's no actual news whether she's confirmed to play. You could have just blindly bet the Lynx here, and you would have been in a great spot. This game was priced as if she was going to play. So now, from there, we see that she's been officially marked as questionable. We saw this line, open at 4.5, 5. It got up to 5.5. I picked up the last remaining 5, and yeah, that was before she got marked as questionable. Now she's marked at questionable, and we see 7s across the board. There is a 6.5 at DraftKings. So, what should you do coming to the slate with nothing? I mean, firstly, it depends on your schedule. Depends. For me, like, I'm in Australia. Sometimes I can't get ahead of the injury news. But my view is that I fully expect Caitlin Clark to play this game. She did go through non-contact drills in practice, so that's a good sign. Obviously, you'd like to see her go through a full scrimmage, but I would be very shocked if she doesn't play this game. Like, this is the Commissioners Cup Final. This is a game that obviously the Fever want to show out for. It's very, especially this time in American sports where it's a real dip in terms of major sporting events. Like, it's just this and baseball on at the moment. So I think she will be incentivized to play, especially given the financial rewards the teams get for winning this game. They split $500K, which is a lot of money relative to their salaries. So I expect Caitlin Clark to play, and as soon as that injury news breaks, the lines will shift, and that's where your buy point is on the Minnesota Lynx. So I've got this game projected at 7.5. I've given Indiana a bump as well to account for the time that Caitlin Clark has missed, and I've still got this at 7.5. So that would be my strategy. Wait for Caitlin Clark to get ruled in. This line will go back to 6, maybe 5.5. I do not expect 5 to appear. I do not expect this to get back to 5. What I do expect is that Caitlin Clark gets ruled in. This goes to 6 or 5.5. That's your buy point, and then I expect this spread to close at 6 or 6.5. I expect Minnesota to get that late market push. That's what my strategy would be against the spread. Looking at the total, we saw it open at 167.5. That total was Caitlin Clark is playing. That's what the total was priced as being. Now we see it at 165.5 and 165. That's to be expected. She is questionable for this game. I was not able to pick up an under. That is the spot that I want. But again, I'm going to be following the exact same strategy I just walked you through. Wait for Caitlin Clark to get ruled in. That's your buy point on the under. And in fact, that's an interesting one, actually. Like, we have seen Fever totals just consistently take over steam, even at open, even from an opening number where Caitlin Clark is priced as being in. So, no. This is a tough one. I think with this spread, I expect Minnesota to take late action. So definitely just as soon as you get that underdog WNBA tweet, and if you're not following them, go follow them. Best, most up-to-date injury news for the WNBA. As soon as you see Caitlin Clark's ruled in, take Minnesota against the spread. With the under, though, it's a tough one. Like, if this were just any normal game, I would say actually you can wait for a bit after Caitlin Clark gets ruled in because they may continue to take over steam. But this is a Commissioners Cup game with added incentives. This is a playoff style game, so I think I'll probably just buy the under as soon as she gets ruled in. Like, I want a 167.5, maybe a 168. That's the number that I would be looking for, but I'll continue to monitor this very closely. Make sure you go follow me on Twitter. Turn on those post notifications, get these bets as I place them. If you're able to pick up a Lynx -5, that's a great ticket. That ticket is not going to exist before tip off. And that is our only best bet that we've got right now. There are a number of other games priced for Thursday, the 3rd of July if you're in America, Friday, 4th of July if you're in Australia. I have a number of great bets on those games. We will cover those games in the next episode. If you follow me on Twitter, you already know where my action is. And if there's just one piece of advice, if you're in Australia, get Tab Touch. If you're in America, get Bet Rivers, Park, New Jersey, Sugar House. There are just so many great opening numbers that you guys can attack in those sports books. Again, this is where I placed Minnesota -5. I placed that at Tab Touch, and that was because all the market was at 5.5. So let's hope for another winning month here in July. As long as we continue to close ahead of the market at a great rate, we will have a winning WNBA season. Until next time, let's get the book salty.